Sony just announced the PlayStation 5 DualSense Edge controller, an enhanced Pro controller that adds a number of additional customization features to the PS5's already impressive DualSense. Let's talk about all the details revealed and how it compares to some similar gaming controllers already on the market. During Gamescom's opening night live presentation, host Jeff Keighley took to the stage to announce the new controller on Sony's behalf.
The DualSense Edge, it's a high-performance, ultra-customizable, wireless PlayStation 5 controller designed by PlayStation, and you see there you can have
The new controller, which PlayStation is calling the DualSense Edge, is a pro version of the standard PS5 DualSense controller. That original controller got its DualSense name from its ability to relay specific vibration during gameplay. Sony says this new Edge controller is designed to give you an edge in gameplay by allowing you to create custom controls and craft your own unique gaming experience tailored to your playstyle. We've seen Pro controllers in the past from other console and hardware manufacturers. Microsoft has their Xbox Elite wireless controller, which has already seen 2 generations, while third parties like Scuf have their Reflex line of PS5 controllers. Over on the PlayStation blog, Sony has pointed out 4 new features of the Edge controller worth your attention. The first is the ultra customizable controls. The Edge controller will allow you to remap or even deactivate specific button inputs. It will also allow you to fine-tune your analog stick sensitivity, including the dead zones, which is the distance your analog stick moves before it's recognized in-game. The controller will also let you adjust the travel distance of each trigger. A curious feature, since one of the DualSense's unique capabilities was allowing games to adjust the sensitivity and friction of the triggers based on in-game settings. For example, pulling the bowstring back in Horizon Forbidden West was harder to press than shooting a gun in Call of Duty. Regardless, PlayStation points out that by being able to reduce your trigger's travel distance, faster inputs in competitive settings are now a possibility. The next noteworthy feature is the controller's ability to save multiple control profiles. After setting up your ideal controller layout, you can save that combination and swap between profiles on the fly. This is a great feature if you're someone who shares their game console with friends and family, or even if you have specific controller preferences for specific games. For example, maybe you like the default settings for most narrative games, but need something with higher sensitivity when playing first-person shooters. It's also worth noting that in the released photos, we can see the triggers now have additional textured grooves. The next feature, and one we've come to expect from similar Pro-style controllers, is the ability to change out the analog stick caps and modules. There will be 3 types of swappable stick caps: Standard, High Dome, and Low Dome. Again, this allows for more user preference when deciding what feels better on the thumbs for specific games. Along the same lines, players will be able to replace the analog sticks themselves if anything happens to break. And Sony points out that replacement stick modules will be sold separately. Another standard but welcomed feature is the inclusion of back buttons that can also be swapped out. The 2 swappable sets, including half dome and lever shapes, can be bound to any other button input. Last generation, we saw Sony release a back button attachment for their DualShock 4 controllers that allowed for a similar setup. Surprisingly, the Edge controller only seems to have 2 back buttons, one on each side, which is half as many as the Xbox Elite and Scuf controllers we've seen in the past. In fact, even the Steam Deck has 2 back buttons on each side for a total of 4. Players who purchase the Edge controller will also get a couple of accessories included. A USB-C braided cable, which uses a connector housing to lock into the controller, and a carrying case to hold the controller and additional components together, while also allowing for pass-through charging. As of right now, there is no launch window or pricing for the DualSense Edge. But if we look at similar controllers on the market, we can assume this one will retail somewhere around $200. So what do you think? Do you currently use a Pro controller? Are you a fan of back buttons? Is there a feature Sony is missing that you hope to see added before launch? Let me know in the comments.